Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an alt season special stream. Finally, we can discuss alt season after what feels like an eternity of just waiting for the breakouts. We're finally seeing a lot of green across the markets. We are also seeing a huge move on Ethereum. We normally start with Bitcoin, but tonight I think Ethereum is stealing the show, up 8.3%, about to crack through $3,400, and altcoins are going to go insane if this rally continues. So tonight We're going to cover a lot of charts. There's a lot of breakouts happening across the market, a lot of breakouts on the horizon. Got a few bits of macro to cover. We've got Vantage and we've got a few other things as well. But if you've got any questions, anything you want to look at, drop it in the chat and we will try and get to it. As I said, this is all about the alts. Total 2 is up huge today. A huge move led by Ethereum, now just cracking that $3,400 level, 8.3%. This is a multi-billion dollar coin. It's not some tiny market cap coin that's just moving with a few $1,000,000. This is huge institutional buying causing this. A lot of shorts that have been in the market for weeks now getting closed. And I think this rally could continue. We'll draw on some fibs later and I'll show you some key levels. Looking back at Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin still looking pretty impressive, to be fair, up at $119,000. And I think this back and forth with Bitcoin and the alts could continue for a while, because I think if anyone watching is like me, the whole point in trading alts, buying alts, is just to accumulate more Bitcoin, and right now everybody feels like Bitcoin is going to go much higher. So people might rotate profits from alts into Bitcoin, and then when Bitcoin cools off they rotate back. So there is a bit of a cat and mouse game going on with Bitcoin and the alts, and I think that will continue. Ethereum, it just continues. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. Insane move. Insane. 3, 4, 10 now, and this is going to drag up the entire crypto market. We've got XRP breaking $3.06. We're now back above that 702. We tested it this morning as support, and it does look like 320 is the next level for XRP before we get back to all-time highs, and from there we are going absolute rocket ships. $7, $7.50. Anywhere in that range is going to be an amazing target. BNB breaking out as well. We spoke about this on the last stream. Hopefully you checked it out. If not, you need to make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you know, because we go live impromptu. Sometimes they're planned depending on the market. Sometimes we'll just jump on and go live. So you need to be subscribed to get the notifications if you're not NCC Pro. But we spoke about Binance Coin. BNB was looking for that breakout. It tested this resistance level quite a few times. We finally got the breakthrough today. If we can close above this wick sits just around 707. Any close above 707, and I think BNB could be headed to $800 and a new all-time high for Binance Coin. Solana on the weekly looks pretty bullish, but when we actually dial down into the smaller time frames, this breakout's been brewing for a while for Solana. You can see we broke out of this pennant formation. We got into this kind of parallel channel. We bounced around, and the 200-day moving average got taken out earlier today. And since we moved above that 200-day moving average, we have absolutely flown. The bottom of this channel actually is a key level back in time, which gives it confluence, and the target for this move is around the 186 level, which again is back to this high from the 23rd of May. So everything looking pretty bullish. And then we go to Dogecoin. Dogecoin looks amazing on the weekly. You can see this double bottom formation. We've not even got to the peak of the double bottom, the kind of midpoint. And if we look at the target for this move, even conservatively, you would say the target of this breakout of the double bottom, 37 cents. Oh, key level back in May 2021. So the market is absolutely ripping right now. Every kind of major coin is starting to break out, but we're still relatively early. Some really cheap coins still in the market, and yeah, a lot higher to go. Let's look at the total. So total market cap for the entire crypto space is breaking out as well. We need a close above 3.81 trillion to take out, was that Sunday's high? Monday's high? We take out Monday's high, I think we will move much higher. We've seen that with Bitcoin a few times where we test the high, pierce just above it, retrace, and then go again. And that looks like what's happening with the total crypto market cap. And then total 2, obviously led by Ethereum today, is now getting up back to that 702 retracement. That might be quite a tricky retracement level. We might see a bit of cooling off, a bit of sideways before we start heading towards all-time high level. Bitcoin dominance, absolute crashing back through the 702. We drew this arrow on a few days ago, and it looks like it's going to play out. I do think once we get down into this area, we'll get a retrace back up to the 702 before falling much faster. And this is a hugely bullish chart. Let me try and fit it all on the screen. This is the 2017 Bitcoin all-time high. This is the April 2021 Bitcoin all-time high. This is the November 2021 high. And then we've got December 2024, January 2025, and we have just broken through this 8-year trend line and tested it as support. So not only did we break the 8-year trend line this week, we've now back tested it as support. This thing should fly. This is an amazing breakout. This is a huge, huge breakout, and I think it's going to get pretty exciting where we go next. I think 131 to 134 looks like a key area for Bitcoin, but this is off the back of regulation being passed. It looks like the Genius Act is going to be passed, the Clarity Act. We've got money printing coming, we've got rate cuts coming, we've got massive amounts of liquidity pouring out the traditional banking system into crypto. The next 90 days at least is going to be huge, and I think we're just getting started, and that's the most exciting part of the market right now. We'll cover Vantage shortly as well. Let's have a look in the chat because it's all popping off. Wisdom Wise, yes I am. Chev, I can't take credit for the music unfortunately. May the bulls be with you. Wisdom thinks XRP's go back to $2. Don't think about that. Usman, I think let's have a look at this. So let's have a look through what's going on in the wider markets. So we've got this here. This is a really important chart for crypto, and this is why I think we are massively early and we've got so much potential. Retail investors now dominate investing. They're now starting to set records for how much investing is going on. And I think we're going to see a massive rotation out of these big tech stocks in the coming weeks into crypto. We have this tweet here, which is showing that there's about $7 trillion sitting in money market funds earning 4%. As soon as rates start coming down, that money has to find a new home. That new home is going to be crypto, in my opinion. And then, of course, earlier today we got PPI inflation, which came in much lower than expected. So all lines up for a bullish second half of 2025. Looks like we've got some bears in the chat. Wisdom Wise thinks there's going to be a crash to 92k. There could be, I just don't see it. And the reason I don't see it is because I still think a lot of people are bearish. You go on Twitter, people are calling for market crashes. I saw somebody saying the market was nosediving today. Well, the Nasdaq just put in its highest daily close in history. We've got the S&P 500 consolidating at all-time highs. You've got the Russell bouncing off the 200-day moving average as support. I don't see why anyone is bearish in this market right now. The market's absolutely flying, and that's before we get all the tailwinds that are going to hit the market in the next 6 months, especially when it comes to crypto regulation and pro-crypto policies, which all they're going to do is tap into the existing liquidity. So yeah, really bullish time for the market. We will look at some other altcoins in a second. I want to touch on silver as well. This is an altcoin stream, but I think silver needs a notable mention. We've been banging on about silver for ages. It's now up at almost $38 this week. A huge move for silver, and I think this is going to just continue over the next few weeks. But let's look at some other altcoins. If you've been watching the streams for a while, or if you are new, we have been speaking about Polkadot for a while. It comes up quite a lot in CC Pro. It looks really nice from a chart point of view. We put in that low. We've now tested this level, which dates back to 2023, and it looks like we're going to gain some strength. So somebody asked if there's some cheap coins. I would say things like Polkadot, Dogecoin. I think Cardano technically is still cheap. You've got Filecoin putting in basically the exact same pattern. You've got Sushi, Zilliqa. There's so many big altcoins that in my opinion are still way undervalued, and they'll catch massive amounts of liquidity in the coming weeks. And for anyone new to the stream, I saw there's some new faces in. We have just launched our own token, our own crypto project called Vantage. It pays passive income to all token holders. That fund is invested in a diverse range of assets. We're already in huge profits. We did a CC Pro pre-sale. We have the public sale open now, and the money we've raised so far is already invested. It's already making profits, and token holders, I think, are going to be very happy with their yield that they're going to earn after TGE, which will be coming later in the year. If you want to take part, so basically what Vantage is it pays passive income in USDT for being a token holder. The funds raised are invested, they produce yield, and we just share that yield with token holders. It's not like your normal crypto token. It's basically like a tokenized fund. You earn passive income really easily. All you have to do is stake and earn. As you can see, we've raised almost 70k in the public sale. We also done a CC Pro, which is our community round, sold out in less than an hour. And yeah, like I say, the funds are already at work earning revenue for the fund, which will be paid out in yield to token holders after TGE. I'll drop the link. You need USDT on Solana. Just connect your wallet and then you can purchase here. Tells you all about it. Tokenomics, white paper, everything is on the website, and we've done a video on it as well, so you should be able to check it out on our channel. This is, so someone asked me this today, and I thought I'd just cover it on stream. So someone asked why we're so bullish on the price never being this cheap again. And the reason for that is there's no reason to sell this token. People will sell it, of course. That's the name of the game, is buy and sell. We don't believe there's going to be sell pressure, because the incentive for this token is to hold and earn passive income. That is the huge value proposition of it. The yield is generated not just from crypto, it's generated across a diverse range of assets, and is paid in USDT, so it's not paid in more tokens. So the fund grows naturally every single month. Token holders get paid out in USDT, so there's no real reason to sell the token unless it hits a certain price that you want to get out at. for that reason, we don't see sell pressure. And if people did sell it, that just means that the pot gets shared between less token holders. So as a token holder, you earn more by people selling and not being staked. So I think this is the cheapest the token will ever be. I think we'll see huge buy pressure once we start advertising and sharing the returns from the first 90 days. I think we'll share month 1. I think that'll get some interest, but once we share month 2, month 3 and show the returns from the investment from the fund, I think we're going to see massive FOMO for the token. The public sale won't be open at that point. It'll close in the next few days. And then we'll see massive FOMO and buy pressure, which will all be directed to the token because people will want to earn that yield. So yeah, pre-sale's open right now. Like I say, we're going to close it very soon. Another few days, I think. And that'll be it. And I don't believe the price will be this cheap again. Because even if the price drops, there's a massive incentive for someone to go buy a lot of the supply, stake it, and then earn a bigger chunk of the fund. So yeah, that's my personal opinion, not financial advice obviously, but the pre-sale link is in the chat. There's a video, check it out, and yeah, pre-sale's open now. Ethereum just continues to dominate. 3420 back up at this level here. It's literally just knocking out levels. The thing with Ethereum, and I'll cover this when I talk about small altcoins as well, is if you look at the downtrend, it basically just cut through levels like a butter through knife, like a knife through butter. Can't speak. But if you actually look at it, we literally tested this support once, fell through it. Didn't even test this level, just fell through it. This trend line here, tested it, fell through it. So now we're just doing the reverse. There's massive shorts in the market, and I think they're starting to either get wrecked or close, and that's why we're seeing these huge candles. And for me, I think this is before regulation passes. This is before banks, institutions, all those big smart money gets into the market. So yeah, an exciting time. We are just getting started as well. I think we do have a lot of room to go. And one of the reasons I'm so bullish in terms of the upside is the others chart has barely got going. So for anyone new, the others chart is basically all the altcoins outside the top 10. So all your small caps, yeah, basically anything that's not in the top 10 by market cap. And we've barely got going. We're up off the 200-week moving average that we hit a few weeks ago, but all-time high still sits at 500 billion. We're not even at 300 yet. So that just tells me we've got huge upside potential. And yeah, I'm here for it. Some massive gains. CRV, if you're not in CC Pro, you might not have heard of this token or been part of it. This is flying. CRV moves really fast once it gets going. You can see back in November, from the lows we got up to 134, 500% move, but we did it in, what's that, 3 weeks? So yeah, I expect us to be back up at 134 in the next couple of weeks for CRV. And then from there, you can see if we take out this range, the upside potential is massive. You know, 296 easily achievable, but really there's no support and resistance levels. Once you get past 368, you're talking all-time highs. I think we'll see all-time highs for CRV in the coming months. So I touched on it. I see there is quite a few people that aren't necessarily regulars. We will cover some some of the tokens dropped in the chat. But let me cover CC Pro. So CC Pro is our private members community. We have daily updates. We have TA trade setups. We do market analysis every single week. Just a couple of days ago, we shared some really bullish chart patterns. Solana, Cardano. I think we shared Ethereum as well. And here we are. We're breaking out of all those patterns. We also have copy trading through BloFin. The link for that is in the description. So hands-off trading. Somebody called Quantoshi, the founders who we've done a podcast with, manage the trading. We've got project updates. We have tutorials, just how to do basic things in crypto. So if you've not checked it out, CC Pro, our private Discord community, it's easily worth the money. Some of the trades we've dropped, some of the investments, they also got into Vantage at the earliest possible point because they are our community. But we also drop some gems and stuff like that in there as well. So check it out. The link is in the chat at the top. It's pinned, and there's one in the description as well. We will also help people get out of the market in our CC Pro Discord. So one of the hardest things in crypto is taking profit and exiting the market, and that'll be a big focus for us in the coming months. So if you've never taken profit in crypto, you think it sounds easy, it's the hardest thing you will ever do, and we're going to help our members do that and make as much money from crypto as possible. We'll also stop people making silly mistakes like selling XRP, or I've just read a message where somebody's just bought $5,000 worth of XRP who isn't in CC Pro. I mean, I still think XRP's got a lot of way to go, but I wouldn't be buying just below the all-time high. So we stop people making some silly errors as well. So yeah, check it out. Right, let's run through some charts. Let's have a look. Wisdom wise, no, I don't think we'll go back to that 92k CME gap right now. I think we will eventually, but not right now. I think there's too much buy pressure, there's too much hype, there's too much excitement in the market, and one of the reasons I think that is, if you look at every time we get a dip, we don't go where we should go. So in reality, this correction from all-time high, we probably should have went to 112k. If you look at 74k, we probably should have went to 72 down here. So we got to 74, 75k. We should have went lower, but we never. We keep getting bought up before we get to the key levels because there's too much buy demand, and actually sellers can't force the price down low enough. So you look, let's try and zoom in and I'll show you what I mean. So this wick here was caused by the tariffs. So you see we got to 74.5. 74.5 is not a level. We should have got down to 73.7. It might seem like that's not a big deal, but what that tells you is there's so much buy demand that they just can't crush the price down far enough. And with supply drying up, OTC desks are running lean, exchanges are running lean. It's not as easy to move the price. So, and at the same time, we've still got loads of people that are bearish. So that buy demand has to come in at some point. So yeah, I don't think 98k, 92k. I don't think we're going to hit them until we go much higher. You said pump sucked a lot of liquidity of the market, but it never. It could have, and there was a real possibility of that, but it launched on Saturday, and we are now up 10% in terms of total too. So actually, it never. Let's have a look. Will gaming coins have a run? Yeah, 100% they'll have a run. What you'll see over the next few weeks is there will be different times for different kind of genres of coins. So you get a DeFi run, you'll get a gaming run, normally sparked by like a news story or a new development or something like that. So yeah, gaming coins will definitely have a run. Tom is dropping VeChain. Let's have a look at VeChain. Yeah, he is kind of spot on with it. Undervalued. Once it gets above this orange line here at 0.03, I think that's where the fun really starts. And as you can see, it pretty much goes vertical once it breaks out. So yeah, VeChain looks good. Somebody dropped Gala. Yeah, I think Gala looked amazing the other day. It's already moved quite a bit, but if you look, still in the lows, you would say still in the accumulation zone. You know, a huge accumulation zone. But anything under 0.023 looks pretty cheap. Once it clears this 200-day moving average as well, I think we could get back up to the December highs. And that's what's so exciting for this market. If you're looking at altcoins, they've not even got close to their December highs. Some of them haven't got close to their March 2024 highs. This one's February. But you look at even Gala from here just back to December, it's a 250% move. Back to March, it's a 360% move. That's not talking about new all-time highs, peaks from the last cycle. That is literally just getting back to last year's prices. So, super exciting time. Yeah, so Jamie's got a valid point, to be fair. Dot put in a lower low, which at this stage in the cycle you probably wouldn't want to see. But if you look at a lot of coins, this is kind of the pattern they've put in. So they put in a low, everybody thinks that's it, and then it puts in one last low. And this is literally designed to kill retail sentiment. This is designed to absolutely sicken everybody, and they freak out. And then it bounces back off the old low, and then it heads much higher. It's a spring and back test, and it's a well-known pattern. So yeah, for me, this wick here testing this low as support, the low from October just before we got going, is the bullish part of this pattern. Let's have a look. Deck, do not close your longs. You hold them all the way. Those longs stay open. Usman's asked twice, what is up with the news of the Genius Act and the Clarity Act? So, basically, Genius Act has passed the Senate and the House. It just needs one final vote, and then it goes to Trump's desk to be signed into law. Just before they did that, they thought they could combine the Genius and the Clarity Act and some other bill and just push them all through. But one of them is about CBDCs. So everybody that understands crypto is pushing for a ban on CBDCs to be added to the law until it's passed. So it failed a vote last night. Trump's basically came out and said it's going to pass within the next 24 hours, 48 hours. And I think that's why markets are flying. The Genius Act is about stablecoins. Stablecoins have to be backed by US Treasuries. The Genius Act allows banks to use their treasuries that they hold with the Fed as collateral to go and buy stablecoins. Currently that balance is $3.5 trillion that could flow into the crypto market in just that one act. And then the Clarity Act basically takes some of the power away from the SEC. So yeah, it's hugely bullish. In my opinion, Usman, the delay is just theatre. It's just total political theatre. Delay it, play some games, bit of negotiation, and eventually it'll pass when the time is right. And probably this is what the front run is, because they know the bills will go past now. So RD, we don't actually have a token price goal, and the reason for that is the goal with Vantage is to deliver as much value to token holders via the fund rather than token price appreciation. Vantage isn't designed to go from 0 to 100x and then crash back down like a Memecoin or like some of these small projects that get launched by people all the time. Vantage is designed for long term. It's designed for passive income. The token price doesn't impact your yield per month, so it's not that we don't care about token price. Of course we do care, but we're not influenced by it. We're not going to be watching the hourly chart every single day, because it doesn't impact how much yield people get paid. It doesn't impact how the token works. It actually, the reason it's a crypto token is just to use crypto as the vehicle for functioning as a token. So by making it a crypto token, anyone can invest for as little as they want. They don't have to be a sophisticated investor investing $10,000. They can stake or unstake whenever they want. They can pull money out whenever they want, and they earn yield, and it's all done on the blockchain. That's why it's a crypto. Other than that, the market cap, the price of the token, doesn't have any impact on the day-to-day running of the fund, which is why we're so bullish on it. Because then if the crypto market crashes 90%, but you're still earning your yield every month, you don't care about the token price. You care about your dividends every month. It's like if you hold Tesla stock and you earn dividends on your Tesla stock. It doesn't actually matter what the price of the Tesla stock is, as long as every month you get your $1,000 in the mail. That's all you care about, and that's the way we've designed Vantage. Yeah, Niall's right. We are very early. Crypto is, no one knows about crypto. Go and stand in the street and ask people about crypto. They might have heard of Bitcoin. They'll tell you it's used by probably terrorists, and that's as much as they'll know. Borg. So we done something on Twitter today. Liquidity is coming to a coin near you, as we tweeted today. We've been talking a lot about Borg recently. In our opinion, Borg is gearing up for a massive rally, and the more people are negative on it, the more it's going to send it absolute flying. We've done a few bits because we are massive fans of Borg. We hold equity in the company. We think it's going to do $3. So yeah, we're hugely bullish on it. It just needs some retail FOMO, and then it's going to be like a firework. In our opinion, it's like a when a match strikes. We think Borg will move pretty quickly. Also, for anyone that's new, for anyone that's old, for anyone that's in CC Pro, make sure you're following our Twitter page. So it's at CryptoGlasgow1. You need to follow us, and the reason you need to follow us is because we're going to start doing giveaways on our streams, and you're only going to know the rules of the giveaway if you follow our Twitter. So before we come on live, we will announce a giveaway on Twitter. If you're not following us, you won't know the rules. You won't be in with a chance of winning the giveaway. So make sure you follow our Twitter, CryptoGlasgow1. And on top of that, just follow us, because there's absolute dynamite getting dropped every single day for free. So yeah. Let's have a look at Opulus, because Opulus can't win. Some days it's everybody's favourite coin. Some days it's everybody's most hated coin. Had a massive run up a couple of days ago. Big test wick, in my opinion. sold off and is now filling that wick. It does look like, if you look zoomed in, you can see, let's draw it on because it makes it easier. You can see we've just came back down to this level here. So we're still up for the lows. It's down 7% today. I wouldn't worry about that. I said on the previous stream, don't expect these small market cap altcoins to be flying right now. The rotation has barely begun. So you see, total of the market cap for the whole crypto space is at all-time high. Total 2, not even close. We've still got, what, 300 billion to go. Total 3, 200 billion to go. And then others, you're talking 200 billion, 150 billion to go, just to go back to the December high. I think the all-time high for this is much higher. Yeah. So this is small caps. We need that rotation to continue. We need some of the big caps like XRP, Solana, to break, Binance Coin to break out into all-time high, go into price discovery, and then when people take profits on their big altcoins, that'll flow into the smaller market cap coins. And it's just a trickle down effect. So yeah, there's going to be coins that lead, there's going to be coins that lag. In my opinion, when we get a full-blown alt season, when Ethereum starts breaking into all-time highs, XRP back to all-time highs, Solana back to all-time highs, you're going to see like 40% move, 50% move in some of these altcoins, especially the lower caps, even like 60%, 70% moves. It won't be uncommon when we get into a full-blown alt season, because the amount of capital that's going to be in this market very soon is going to outstrip anything we've ever seen before. No, I don't know. I don't own every single one of these coins. These are just the coins I look at charts on. So, good question, G McM. When the time comes to exit the markets, what and where are you putting the profits? Are you reinvesting or are you enjoying? The key is to get out the market. So, one of the biggest problems, let me pull up a couple of charts and I'll show you. So basically what happens is somebody might hold a big bag of XRP and XRP breaks out and they take profits. So let's say they take 50k profits. So they take 50k, they cash it out in a USDT, but instead of doing anything with that money, a lot of the time what they do is they just scroll through and they see a coin that's maybe not moved yet. So for this example, let's say they go to Arbitrum. Arbitrum's still way down low. It's not even broken the lows from last year. So they look at Arbitrum and go, it's really undervalued. If I put that 50k there and it goes back to here, I can turn that into 150k. So they go and do that, and maybe that works. Maybe that is actually successful. So maybe they manage to do that. But then they take that 150k and they do the exact same exercise. So then they look and they go, right, let's have a look. LimeWire. LimeWire's still down here. So if I put that 150k into LimeWire here and it goes back to here, I could make $1.5 million. And they put it in. And basically the problem is eventually you get left holding the bag, because eventually the market rolls over. And eventually the coin you buy has either already ran, doesn't run, or the market's just done. It's overheated and we go into a bear market. And instead of taking that 50 or 150 or whatever you have out the market, buying a house, buying a holiday, buying a car, just having a nice life, you're stuck holding pointless altcoins for 3, 4, maybe even you never see another pump, because the next bear market, I've said it for ages, is going to be brutal. So for me, when I'm taking profit in this next run, I will be getting that money out of crypto, trying to earn passive income through either different strategies. If you're in CC Pro, you probably know what we're talking about. But I will be putting that money into passive income flows and just chilling, because the bear market will come. Don't buy into this noise that there's no bear market, we're not going to go as low again. We absolutely will, and you need to be prepared for it. So yeah, I will be getting out the market and not chasing risk, not chasing massive returns on undervalued coins. I'm quite happy. I've had 5 years of buying crypto. That's what the bear market's for. Bull run is for exiting, taking profits, and keeping yourself out the market, as tempting as it can be. As they have so many more. Sorry, Ben, let me see. What do you think of tokens where they require much higher market caps at all-time high, as they have so many more tokens since last time? Yeah, I mean, it depends on the coin. You do have to think of that. Like, if a coin had 5% circulating supply when it done its last all-time high, and now it's 95% circulating supply, it is going to be much more tougher. But when you see what I was talking about earlier, and you see posts like this, there's $7 trillion sitting in funds earning 4% right now. If that rate goes down to 2% and inflation stays above 2%, that's earning negative yield. The hottest market to earn right now is crypto, because the stock market's already at all-time highs. Nvidia's at all-time highs, Nasdaq all-time highs. So the place where there is huge upside returns for some of that funds, I'm not saying it's all going to come into crypto, is crypto. So we're talking about way more money than ever before. And yeah, I think the market cap's going to exceed everybody's expectations. I've said before, total market cap can get north of 5 trillion easily, 7 to 10 trillion definitely, 10 trillion probably at a push. That's huge amounts of new liquidity coming out of the market, and I don't think anyone's prepared for it. I think this bull run's been so painful for most people. I think people have written off all-time highs, they've written off huge gains. They're starting to think, well, instead of waiting for Ethereum at, I don't know, $10,000, I'm probably just going to take profit at 5,000, and they're going to miss out on big gains. Another thing they're going to do is they're going to FOMO back in. So they'll take profit on XRP at $5, XRP will run a 7, and it'll keep going, and then they'll buy back in thinking it's then going to stupid crazy numbers. That's another dangerous thing in bull runs. So yeah, you can see it there, 10.4 trillion total market cap. I could see it definitely getting north of 6, 9 to 10's a push. Now I think we're in it. I think it's beginning. I think these are the first few days of it. I think we're going to have some aggressive candles. So what I mean by that is, like, we might dump, 5 to 10% in a couple of hours just to shake people out, and then we'll carry on higher. I think we will get, when we get to 135k, we might get that kind of 15% pullback. I wouldn't be surprised at that. But I think we go much higher, and I think it's already began. I think it began back here. This was pretty sure this was the Israel-Iran conflict. That's when it really kicked off. But if we think about it, April with the tariffs, was kind of our COVID low. It reminds me of that. Massive V-shaped recovery, and then it's just up and to the right from here. I think, so somebody asked about Borghi earlier, Ibrahim. Somebody asked about Borghi, you're asking about Trump and Melania. We will have a massive Memecoin season very soon. One of the main reasons that I think we're going to have an insane Memecoin season is if you're a new entrant into crypto and you're just discovering like crypto as a space. So you discover crypto, you see Bitcoin, you start reading about these things. You're not buying Bitcoin at 150k a token. You're not buying Ethereum at $5,000. You probably aren't even buying XRP at $3-4. You need fast, quick returns. And people just flock to meme coins. On top of that, you've got massive amounts of manipulation in meme coins. You've got huge amounts of capital that play meme coins like a casino. So they'll lure new retail investors into meme coins. They'll pump them and then they'll rug them. And yeah, we're going to see an insane meme coin season. I think as well, Dogecoin could get up to $1 this cycle. Pepe's going to have a good cycle. Melania, Trump, Borghi, all these meme coins are going to have unreal gains. The trick with them is just getting out at the right time. And not to be pedantic, but it was the 7th April was the low. If you remember, it was Sunday night, Trump announced the tariffs, and that was when we put in the low. Let's check on XRP, back up at the 786. BNB breaking out, that would be a nice move for BNB. Again, BNB, for whatever, it's just a psychological thing, but it's $700, like who's buying it up here? But retail will, because they go on Binance, they'll see that it's up, they'll see it's their coin. To be honest, it will do very well. I think the next stop for Binance is probably $1,000 as well. Chili's, another one of those undervalued coins. To be honest, pretty much anything outside XRP, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, SWI. It's had an amazing couple of days. Pulling back today, but just testing the 618 as support. If you look at the weekly, it's basically had 2 weeks of absolute flying up 38% in 2 weeks. Other than some of these coins, like pretty much everything's undervalued. Uniswap, I'd say it isn't. You know, it's been flying recently. Look at Algorand starting to do well. Filecoin, Atom, Chainlink, Sushi, Zilliqa, Neo, still way low. We've covered Gala, Elrond, I probably wouldn't buy. DYDX had a really strong December. Got as high as, was at 273, but its March high was 456. It's currently down at 65 cents. Unreal gains in something like that. Axie, again, there's like literally the entire market. It feels like I get why it feels like everything's flying, and it is, but we're still so early. We've literally had like a week or two of some nice moves. This market has so much potential. Borg not moving, yeah, not yet. Like we said before, Borg needs the retail crowd. We need the retail FOMO to come in. I also think there's some big developments coming at Swiss Borg. The Borg token is going to do very well from that. There's new things coming. So yeah, I would stay tuned for that. I think in the next kind of 30 to 60 days, we'll see some big moves from the Borg token. So Danny, not to pick on you, but you don't short a bull market. Sorry. Shorts get wrecked in this market. To be honest, it actually looks like you should be long ICP. It's not a project I would ever hold because I think it's got like a ridiculous inflation schedule. But if you look at, this is a weekly, we're just approaching the top of this channel. We break 578. This thing could take off pretty quickly. And you saw the last time it broke 578, it moved, what is that? This is a 1 week candle, and it moved 88% in a week. You don't short bull markets. You buy dips, you take profit, you exit. That is literally all you do. Let's have a look at Pepe. Somebody asked me about Pepe the other night. Pepe just back up at a key resistance. This 1389 level. Break that. Pepe will put in an all-time high in the next couple of weeks. It could go, yeah, you're right, it could go back to the bottom of the range, but what's most likely when you've got Ethereum putting in its highest price since February, probably before then. Bitcoin dominance dropping below 63%, Bitcoin at all-time highs. What's most likely? It breaks upwards or breaks downwards? And even if it does break down, it's a 20% move. If it breaks up, you have 150%, 258%, and that is just back to the 2024 high. So yeah, I know which odds I'd prefer. Ethereum highest daily candle close since 18th of January. If we close up here, highest price since 31st of January today. So yeah, all looking very, very bullish. Not necessarily before the end of the year, Jack, for Borg, but I am confident we'll see $3 this cycle. I'm pretty sure it'll happen before the end of the year, because I think this cycle we're going to see a massive run. So yeah, I think $3 by the end of the year is probably likely, to be honest. The entire market I expect to go into absolute overdrive over the next 90 days. No, I wouldn't touch Rune because I think it's pretty much game over for it. If I remember right, it got hacked, but then it was like some insider thing. There's a problem with the founder. I think I'm right in thinking that. I mean, it'll probably run just because typically in a bull run, 99% of stuff actually has a nice run. Just capital chasing gains all over the place, and it doesn't care where that liquidity goes. It just looks for crazy gains. But yeah, I wouldn't touch it, to be honest. Yeah, Jupiter, great shout, great coin, very cheap. We actually took a long on this. We shared this with, I think it was with alpha members in CC Pro. Currently up 48% on that trade. So speaking of trades, I know this is an altcoin stream, but we posted that we're dabbling with some Tesla stock. This was back here in March, just because the hatred for Elon was at crazy levels. If you took that trade with us, you're up 30%. Obviously, you've came down from the high, but I think Tesla will go to all-time highs this year. Bitcoin back above 120k. Ethereum 3380, so it's retraced a little bit. BNB looks like it is now flying, 714. Solana, highest price of the day, $175 pretty much. So for me, I've said this before, I think DEX tokens will do really well this cycle, but it's quite hard with something that's so new. I think it'll put in a new all-time high, so let's say it does, I don't know, $3 perhaps. I don't think that's unrealistic. It done 184 just after launch. The next Solana meme season will drive incredible volume through Jupiter, and again, we'll probably see similar prices, similar crazy gains for it. So yeah, definitely all-time high. I don't really have an opinion on Pudgy Penguin, if I'm honest. I get asked about Sui quite a lot, so obviously having an amazing time. We covered that a wee while ago. People always ask me the top targets. Again, it's a new project, it's hard to predict, but I think anywhere in this range. I think once you get north of 762, you should be getting as much profit out of the market as possible. Yes, it could probably go $14-15, but again, it's a new project. I think it's had some issues in the past as well, so I would be, obviously, if you're in CC Pro, you know we talk about this all the time, but you should be selling on the way up anyway. But yeah, I would definitely make sure as much profit as possible was taken around this level here. Athena, it'll have a really good run because these stable coins. Dogecoin just trying to break this level. Be interesting as well to see the reaction to any pro crypto regulation coming out of Washington this week, because it feels like we've already front run it, but this market just looks like it could go on higher and higher. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We had PPI day tomorrow. I think we've got retail sales, which isn't really a big driver, and then there's so many rumors about Jerome Powell quitting. Unemployment claims might be something to watch tomorrow, but to be honest, I think the major headlines of the week are already out. And then Friday, nothing. Wonder if MD's in that holds Casper. So Casper bounced, to be fair, quite like clean chart. So the low back in April bounced right off the high from 2023. It does look like another double bottom pattern, up 8% on the day. You've got Velo up 7%, and then you've got Castor up huge at 25%. Moon Carl will be buying another Bugatti if this keeps up. As you can see, putting a new low. So expect this to come up, check back, and then bounce. That's pretty much what every altcoin has done. So from here, I would expect Castor to come up, test that level, and then go higher. That seems to be what every altcoin's done. 25% move is huge. I guess it is still down massively as well. It's actually so funny. Every single chart is printing the exact same pattern. So yeah, I would. I mean, I suppose it depends how much you hold, but yeah, December high. I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that. I would be waiting for the 2024 high around what's that, $49. So you've got what, 7x from here. Hopefully you've been buying low. Hopefully you've been buying in this range here. That would give you the most upside. This to me is literally the best chart. Insane price action dating back to 2017. Crazy. Let's have a look at Dex trade. So much a scam coin, it doesn't even have a decent chart. Let's have a look. Wow. To be fair, you're testing the 200-day moving average as support. I think this is bull season. I think you let it run. I think from here it could. Let's have a look. What even is it? It could double from here. Yeah, double would take out this wick here. Yeah, this low here. Yeah. 23.5. I would let it run. I think there's no point closing it in here because you can. I suppose you'll be up quite nice if you long the bottom. 30% so far, but you could be up 140%. Say 10x leverage, it's 1400%. So 14x on your stake. I'd say that was worth holding out for. Plus, it's already ran quite a bit, so your stop will be in profit. You just let it run, check on it a couple of weeks. Yeah, MV probably do well when gaming actually has a run. I think it needs to clear a bit higher, get over this 200-day moving average anyway, which is the candle low from July. This is another example of coins that will just rip out of nowhere. You think of something like MV, we're talking about trillions coming into the market. Something like MV, a few $1 million of buy pressure, and this thing will just absolute rip. It'll be insane. It doesn't even need that. Probably like a few $100,000 would send it back up to these levels. A couple of million would send it just absolutely rocket ships. Fwog. Let's see if there's a better chart. At least everybody knows who the real degen is at CC Pro. Fwog. Yeah, Fwog looks like most altcoins, to be fair, although this is quite deceptive because it's actually up quite a fair bit from the lows. Yeah, it's up 46%. It doesn't look like 46% on the screen just because of the nature of the chart. It's got quite a lot to run to go to this double bottom. So 130%. It's a nice rally, to be fair. The other really important thing is we are seeing some key levels being broken. So I've just shown so many alts that are putting in this kind of double bottom formation. If you look at the others chart, it's starting to clear the double bottom. So once it breaks, I would say once it breaks pretty much this level here with a daily candle close, you can probably expect the target to be, yeah, pretty much bounces straight to 401. 401 billion, that's a lot of extra capital coming out of the market. But I can see that happening very soon. And you look at total 3, you can see we've taken out this peak from May. Next target would be the December high, which would be an all-time high. And then from there, we just go into price discovery on so many charts at the one time. It's the FOMO is going to kick in. And you have to remember that people are going to wake up that aren't in crypto, that aren't watching streams like this, and they're going to wake up, check their phone, and see Ethereum at $3,500. They're not going to buy Ethereum. They're going to go out on the risk curve. They're going to buy other tokens, and that's what's going to send the market flying. We did say CRV would break this level and head to 134 pretty soon. Didn't think we'd get a 21% move today. 42% on the week. Massive move. I wonder how many are still holding the CRV swing trade from CC Pro. To be fair, I remember when we were up here, Fraser. Let me see if there's a better chart. So hold a smallish amount of Injective. Would it be worth opening a long instead of spot on a low leverage? The problem, so yes and no. It depends how comfortable you are with leverage trading. Leverage trading comes with huge risk. You've got to manage the trade. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. If you're familiar with leverage trading, it's not a bad option to open a low leverage trade. Obviously you get more tokens for your money, but yeah, it just depends on competency. It depends on how comfortable you are. It also depends on how much time you've got. Leverage trading, you kind of need to keep an eye on it. You need to kind of manage those trades day in, day out. So yeah, I would consider, if you're comfortable looking at charts, plotting it and managing the trade, and you've got decent knowledge of risk management. If we look at Injective though, very bullish on the daily. So we've broken the 200-day moving average yesterday. We've back tested its support today. To me, we take out this level at 15.38 in the next day or two, and yeah, you probably get up to 24 pretty quickly. If we look at the fibs on this as well, pretty sure I've looked at this recently. It literally maps out. That is crazy how charts work. If anyone doesn't believe in charts, like, it's crazy. But if you plot this local high, local low, we'll take out 35 in the coming weeks. The 1.618, 53.25, well, that just so happens to be the previous all-time high from March 2024. So yeah, I would imagine we'll get to 53 pretty soon after we break this level here. There's not a lot of sell pressure in this chart either after that, so yeah, you can see it move quite quickly. Also, the 200-day moving average just so happens to be at the first fib, at the 236 fib level. Confluence is support, confluence is resistance. This one looks actually pretty amazing as a chart setup, to be fair. So yeah, you should be pretty sweet. It's even got a bit of a downtrend that's broken out all just there as well. So yeah, it's unreal chart actually. And if you were leverage trading, you want to be as close to 13, 19, or yeah, as low as you can get, but $13.19 is the fib level, $13.16 is the 200-day moving average. I would, yeah, this is the best risk to reward you'll get on this chart, I would imagine. Two confluences as support now, and you've got easy target. So yeah, good luck. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is a problem with people wanting meme coins looked at. The charts are terrible. You can't really do too much. I mean, it's still technically in this range. Tested the 200-day moving average as support technically, but yeah, it's a meme coin, so who knows what will happen. I don't know what LCX is. LCX? Just looks like every other altcoin, to be fair. Drop back to this level, which was kind of the bear market accumulation zone. Drop back to it twice. Let's see. Still well short of the 200-day moving average, 200-day 3-day moving average. Kind of bearish cross there, but yeah, it'll probably correct quite soon. Yeah, looks fine. I don't know anything about it. If it gets back to 30p, yeah, it should get back to 30p or 30 cents. Yeah, don't see why not, unless you know something I don't. But can't see why not. Let's have a look at Solana. Ben, I don't really understand your question. Is USDT going to start dropping soon? I don't really know what you mean. I'm pretty sure I said when I looked at this chart earlier, when CRV moves, it moves very quickly. And then we've just had a huge explosive move. A daily close above this orange line is very, very bullish for CRV. Checking on Hedera. Wonder if MD holds Hedera. It's one of these coins that was promoted by Trump as like the made in USA. Pretty bullish back test to this level here. So this was the May high. It's also the 382 fib. You can see we've performed a bullish back test, follow through on this candle. If you actually zoom in, this bullish engulfing candle looks like it's just going to keep going and going. I would imagine in the next 48 hours, if the market stays like this, we get back up to the 50% retracement level. But yeah, this is the thing. TA, just when you look at the charts, especially crypto, they just play out so well. Probably because there's so much manipulation, but some of the charts just look insane. We can look at Flame. So yeah, big run up. What, 68% move last week? At its peak, you go up 100%. Just having a bit of cool off and consolidation. But yeah, I would expect these two wicks to get taken out the next time it moves. Get up closer to the 200-day moving average. And then once we're above that, you'll probably see this move quite quickly. I would say we'll get back to this almost 2 cent level pretty quickly once it starts getting going. Nice Shiv. So you hold H-bar or Hedera. Nice. I think you'll do really well this bull run if you hold. Hopefully you've been buying it at a decent price because you've had quite a lot of opportunities to buy really cheap because it got destroyed. So yeah, I think you'll do really well. Yeah. Let's have a look at SHX. I think once it gets over the 702, I think we'll probably see a new all-time high. I think you can see the fibs. I think 1.618, anything above that, just be trimming loads of profit. I suppose again it depends where you buy it or where you've been buying it. Hopefully in this massive low long accumulation zone in here. If you scooped up most of it here, you should be fine. We called it in CC Pro, I think it was September time when it was down here. So if you still hold it, if you didn't take profit, you're up 180%, but at its peak it was over 300% gains on that trade. Hassan, you just missed it. We just spoke about Flame. Still bullish. This is the thing, we've been saying this for years now, but certainly over the last 6 months, we knew these times were coming. We've been speaking about it for years. This is why we're in crypto. Unfortunately, crypto is actually brutal 90% of the time. There's only really 10% of the time where the market's flying like this. The rest of the time, in fact, it's probably less than 10%. The rest of the time it's brutal, it's red, it's boring, it's sideways, it's down. So during those times, we don't lose conviction in what we hold because we know these times are coming. And just because we've had a week, maybe 2 weeks of nice price action, and not every single coin has moved, it's just the very early stages of what I think is going to be a very explosive period for us all. Nobody's really asked about LimeWire recently, which is strange. I still have a lot of potential in LimeWire. Hopefully you took some profits in this area here. We were buying this down 6 cents. I think we bought, the pre-sale was 20 cents. I'm pretty sure we done a pre-sale, it was 20 cents. Then it dropped as low as 6. We were buying more. And then obviously it got up to 180. I think it will get back up there again. So yeah, stay bullish on LimeWire. Looks like Polkadot having a bit of a run now as well. Yeah, starting to move. A lot of altcoins are moving now. Dogecoin up 10%, almost at that 200-day moving average. But most of the moves came, they were over 4% on Dogecoin just in the last 4-hour candle. That to me tells me there's a lot of hype and a lot of speculation around potential bills getting passed, potentially people starting to get into the market. XRP up at 308, Ethereum back to the 3.4 level. Yeah, this market is just piping right now. Make sure you like the stream. We're going to be back with loads of streams this week as the market continues to absolutely fly. Ethereum back above $3,400, on course for its highest daily candle close since January. The market looks amazing. I'm going to leave it there for tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow night with another stream, and we will keep delivering all this content every single night while the market's flying and keep everybody up to date. If you're not in CC Pro, you get all the daily updates, you get the chat room, you get project updates. You'll have a podcast tomorrow dropping in CC Pro as well. So yeah, make sure you're in CC Pro, the link's in the description, and I'll be back tomorrow night. Catch you all then.